Welcome, welcome. All of a sudden, just I was sleeping. Um, Hello, collective. We're getting into some timeless collective messages. I feel tired, but only from good things. Um, yeah, just feels like you might be in a very, if you're feeling similar to me, very magnetic right now, but needing to balance and figure out like when and where to use that energy, you know? Um, I feel like you're at the point in your healing journey where it's not so focused on healing, 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 trying to be better, be different than who or what it is, who you are already. I feel like you're coming to a place of acceptance and allowing yourself to enjoy life, you know? Um, as I'm shuffling, I'm seeing that there might be some like provoking energies. I don't know if this is the best setup because I feel like oh, my desk is covered in so many cards. I need to reorganize. As I'm shuffling, I'm feeling like there's a provoking energy that may be happening. And there may be new information that presents itself that's kind of provoking. And um but I feel like you're taking it in stride. It just feels like maybe this is also a testament to how much you've healed, coming to this place of detachment, acceptance. I don't know. And yeah, because I'm like provoker, but then there's abundance. And so it's all leading to good things, but I feel like the collective may just be, I don't know, it just feels different than maybe you've approached these situations in the past. And you're kind of just existing in your own world. I feel like things are coming very quickly, very fast. Like, yeah, it's the Mercury retrograde. I was gonna mention this too. Um, I know that a lot of retrogrades, like you can experience like technical issues and things like that. This has been going crazy. And I think the retrograde is in Pisces, so maybe that's why it's affecting me so much. But it's like I literally was without like cellular service, both me and my son, and we're on different networks. Um, in like an open public area. It wasn't like, oh, I'm in the house or like the power like was having issues or anything. I don't know. It was weird. And so I literally had to like screenshot, like we had to pull up to Starbucks, use the Wi-Fi, screenshot directions to where we were going because we were going to a new place. But then even in doing that, I was explaining to him, I was like, you've never had to use MapQuest before. You've never had to, do that. Your generation doesn't know about navigating without GPS necessarily. And I was like, whenever I used to deal with this, um, when my phone wouldn't work or whatever, I would have to write down the address, write down the directions, and I would just take that paper and trust that I don't miss a damn turn, even though I'm notorious for missing turns sometimes, depending on if I'm distracted. But I felt like I was more paying attention to where I was going. I was more paying attention to my surroundings as I was driving without GPS. And we were on like a 40-minute drive to go where we were going. It was a new space. It was actually kind of relaxing. I felt like um less distraction, less notifications. So again, like maybe that's something that would have caused a lot of frustration. I know that would have caused a lot of frustration for me, or like these types of like hiccups that could be affecting tech, but it's causing you to like slow down. Retrogrades are for rewriting, revisiting, re words, regrouping, sometimes reconciling, but not a lot of times not for the sake of like um moving forward with a person, but a lot of times to close out things that were not properly closed, to reconcile something or even reconcile something within yourself. I had pho for dinner, so there's a little stain. But Mercury retrograde. So yeah, I've been noticing that, like, my phone service will just go out. Um, I've had to, like, restart my phone a couple of times, and in those moments of just, like, being disconnected from the outside world, I guess, like, even notifications and stuff, it's kind of nice, you know? It's kinda nice because you can just, like, reconnect even in that moment, you know? Yeah, Mercury retrograde, the world. So it just feels like, pulling you in from the world, but this is upright, so it's like, maybe in these moments, I feel like they're highlighting a difference in approach. My phone is dying so fast too. I was on 34. I was thinking, "Oh, I'll probably get a good 20-minute." It just dropped as I'm watching it. It's like on 27. Now it just dropped down to 26. So we're gonna keep it pushing. Okay. You're more internally stable. They're highlighting the difference in how you have adjusted to different things happening in your life. I feel like these things would have caused frustration, or the situations that may present itself in the upcoming time frame of this Mercury retrograde. It's to show you how much you've healed and allow yourself to approach things in a different way. Leo, I know it's like you're coming into more power. Um, I think you're also, I was starting a thought. Normally, you would have sucked back into your cave, especially during these times, you want to hide away from the things. But I feel like you're actually showing up in the world now more confidently because you're kind of, again, there's an internal stability, there's an internal grounded feeling that I'm picking up. Yeah. Mercury mind in the reverse, and you're not overthinking it. And side note, there's something that just came through about like evil eye, not really giving a fuck about it. Not that you shouldn't like be irresponsible or like oblivious, but it just feels like you're not letting those types of things hold you back. You make the necessary adjustment, you take the necessary precautions, protections, and you just keep it fucking pushing, which is nice. Interesting. Um, I feel like you're not getting tripped up like you used to, which is, it is nice. And I feel like, I don't know, we're going to keep going. Let's see. Mercury retrograde reinvention, sustainer. What has been running in the background? The father, the queen, and the temple for the world. Interesting. This feels like two different energies within yourself. This is clarifying the world. Um, Two different energies within yourself. It's like this very intuitive energy, on one hand, and then a very protective energy on the other. Um, the father is on top of the queen, and the queen is like hidden underneath. And it feels like there may have been some programming related to father wounds, and there could be things that are popping up that you are reconciling within yourself. So there could even be people popping up into your life that represent aspects of this father wound that need to be looked at, that you're healing within yourself. And then we have the mother now, and it flipped out over here by the queen. So now this feels like internal union, um, a reparenting, shape shifting, the stability. This feels like coming into self worth. Um, Yeah, agape is about alignment, and we have the mirror, which is those fragmented parts of self. So whatever's coming up is revealing to you, especially with it in Pisces. It's a very subconscious thing. It's a very like energetic thing. So these are all internal processes, it feels like. And with the father and the mother here, feels like you're coming into internal union and reconciling with the parts of yourself that are running on old programs that could be related to wounding, that kept you from seeing like your true worth, your true value. And it feels like a very natural process that is happening. I'm also feeling like there's catalysts. I think I kind of mentioned this already with people, you know? And if you've already cleared out your life quite a bit, like from old energies and things like that, it kind of feels like there'll be new people popping into your life that you just handle differently, you know? But they still represent like an energy that needs to be closed up. Let's see. Mercury retrograde, we mentioned the sustainer. Eight of Swords, yeah, like the program running in the background, and the eight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. Um, I love that actually. I feel like I look so tired, actually. Interesting. It's like my phone is going back and forth between dark mode and light mode because I saw the time going from black to white, like um there's so many thoughts going through my head right now. It's hard to catch the channel. Because that they're bringing me to a conversation I have with my son tonight. I was asking him, "Are you a night person or are you a morning person?" Not morning, but like a sun person. Do you like activities during the day or during the evening? Because I saw him kind of come alive when we were having ice cream this evening. We were sitting outside, and I was like, he likes being out at night, you know. And I was thinking about his chart and where his sun sits, and if they say that if your sun sits on the lower half of the chart, that you might be more of a night person versus on the upper half of the chart. And technically, mine sits on the upper half of the chart, but it's on the seventh house, which is like, I would say, I personally feel connected to both. Like, but I'm also have my sun in Pisces that has the duality, but it's also like right on that, like, I want to say equator, but it's not that, but it's like that ascendant descendant line. And so it's like there are times when I really enjoy being out in the sun, and there's sometimes when I really enjoy being out at night, you know? And so there's like this theme of duality because that also came up in a conversation with my sister. Um, when she was saying that someone was telling her that she's they can tell that she's a sun person. She reminds them of the sun. And that's funny because she's not really into astrology like that, but she's a Leo, you know? And so there's something about what sustains you, you know, and it feels like you're turning something back on, like again, switching back and forth between the dark and the light mode, you know, like you're finding the energy to like be out and on in the world, and then like you're learning when to like pull back and be with yourself, or maybe be a little bit more introspective, or maybe like spend some time with the moon, you know? Um, yeah, Ace of Cups. I feel like the world is, yeah, and the Four of Swords, the world is really like how you're interacting with people and the world around you. I see the Six of Wands here too on the bottom of the deck. It's like it feels very rewarding, and like you don't have to do much. You're just following like your natural rhythms in life right now. And it seems to be working out for you. Even though there's like hiccups and it's like you're going through this process very naturally. It's not such a concentrated thing on healing. Like I feel like just in previous chapters of your life, it was very concentrated. Like, I have to learn this. I have to integrate this. This will not change about my situation if I do not integrate this. And it just feels like you're taking a much more laxed approach, especially with a lot of rest and like you're receiving still, you know? And I think that this comes from a place of acceptance. And this could be related to, again, like working through naturally, like through the cycles that you've been just naturally going through in life. It's addressing this these parental wounds, you know, and allowing you to rewrite it as you're allowing yourself to be in the world and interact with new people. Um, yeah, we have Leo, I will, the mother, and then we have the death card and the King of Pentacles in the challenge position. I need one more for that. That doesn't. feel cohesive. Five of Pentacles in reverse. I love that. Okay. So you're stepping into more, like you're shining your light more, but it really is this internal foundation with the mother here. It's like feeling safe to do so, healing the relationship with your body, again, coming to this place of acceptance. This also leads to more wealth, more inner stability leads to external stability with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And this death card is telling me that this big transformation is happening. And I feel like people can sense it on you. They can sense it as you are interacting with other people, even new people. You're seeing how people are attracted to you. It's just like you can tell that you've shifted, you know? You can tell that you shifted. As I say that, this is earth element stability, shapeshifter, the magician, Nine of Pentacles. You can tell that you've shapeshifted, that you've changed. And it's not something that is validated outside of you, like you're looking for the validation outside of you. It's just naturally happening. Again, this feels all very natural. And I feel like it's coming from this place. It really stemming from this place of acceptance. You've released a lot of shame. Yeah, the Hierophant and yeah, the Knight of Wands. I like this. I feel like you've learned how to use your Knight of Wands energy. I feel like almost a year ago, I was having downloads about releasing shame around your inner Knight of Wands, because um, I feel like you can get a bad rap for being impulsive, maybe even lustful, overly sexual, just moves too fast. Most people refer to him as like a fuck boy, you know? But it's like there's this internal energy that lives within you too that has brought you to this place of accepting, almost ritualizing, um, going with this energy, you know? And I feel like maybe they're bringing me back to another reading I posted on here not too long ago where I got the download that somebody would be having a sexual encounter. Um, and maybe that experience, or if you've had something like that, it may have catalyzed something within you, like a spiritual lesson that solidified this change. Yeah. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Lovers. It like it helped you to uproot something that made you feel like a belief system that made you feel unsafe within the body, which could be related to shame, you know? Um, and it just feels like you stopped feeling dissatisfied because you started realizing you could just like choose to not think about it that way. You could choose to not beat yourself up for making a decision. You just choose to be happier. You know what I'm saying? It just feels lighter. Um, and they're bringing me back to this Eight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. Oop, that's my nail card. Oh, and now it's getting stuck on everything. Um, this was a block. You thought you had to keep working so hard on yourself. Personal development, self-help, healing, all these things, and it's like, by you thinking that you had something to fix, you always would create something that you had to fix about yourself. By coming to this place of acceptance and releasing the shame that makes you think that way, you're freeing yourself. And Ten of Cups. I love this. I love this. And you know what? This is not an easy transition to make sometimes. I feel like I personally have experienced and are kind of still experiencing this where I even ask myself and I'm like, am I ignoring my intuition? Am I in some kind of shadow shit or whatever when I'm going to go enjoy myself? Because and again, this is like related to shame around the Knight of Wands where it's like feeling bad or feeling like I'm not being responsible when I go to do something that's just purely for myself or purely for entertainment, purely for fun, purely for aesthetics, purely for whatever. I feel like sometimes I'll tell myself like, "Oh, I almost feel like I may get in trouble. And who's gonna get me in trouble, you know? It's just like when your awareness or being conscious becomes like a burden in a way, you know? And it's like you stop living your life. Yeah, Knight of Swords in reverse and the Devil card. That's exactly what I'm saying. You may feel like you're being irresponsible or that there are going to be consequences or that again, like you're acting out of your shadow when you're being erratic. Um, there's a difference between being erratic and following what makes you feel good in a conscious way, you know? Um, and I think that it comes from this place, like getting from one to the other, the process includes accepting that you want to do certain things, you know what I'm saying? And your soul desires to have that experience in this human experience, you know? With the World in reverse and the Hermit in reverse, um, this feels like contradicting energies where you've been wanting to be in the world a bit more, but not like of the world, but you are here to have a human experience. So, um, I think you're ready to come out of hermit mode, but you've been battling this responsibility you've put on yourself. And again, this could be again related to the father wounds, like having a hard time with like balancing discipline for yourself, showing up for yourself, to being devoted to something where when you've allowed yourself to be more spontaneous, maybe you don't come back to things, maybe you find yourself getting off track or you find yourself just kind of going down the rabbit hole of shadowy, things. And I think that you're finding more balance with those things. Like you can do both now, which feels freeing. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles. Well, that's a lot. That was like 8 cards right there. And the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you were creating more things for you to work on. You were creating more problems for you to solve. You were creating more scarcity because these together is the Five of Pentacles by thinking that you were doing something wrong by just trying to enjoy your life, you know? And maybe there were certain things that you just didn't know that now you do know to help you better process, you know? And I think now going back to like the thing, because it just did it again, the numbers went from black to white, black to white. Um, you're more balanced in your light and your dark. You're more balanced within your inner world and how it reflects in the outer world. You know how to shift things internally so that you can experience something different externally. Um, I just feel like you're in a good energy, like spirit is congratulating you. But they're also saying that, you're realizing that the more that you hold yourself back, the less opportunities that you have, obviously. And so, like, the more that you're just like willing to, this even relates to like money, um, spending the money to have the experience because the money still, it flows, it still comes, Um, yeah. Four of Cups in the challenge position, King of Swords, and Judgment. I feel like you're trusting your intuition a little bit more now, or you're going to start. I think you're releasing judgment over yourself. And my throat started to feel like a little scratchy right here, right now. That's why I was like, hmm. But I feel like maybe something needs to be spoken aloud. The Knight of Cups on the Queen of Wands. This could be, this feels like another side message. Let me get one more. The Knight of Pentacles. I feel like somebody wants to say something to you. They see you moving on your healing journey. Someone is taking their sweet time to come to you and say something to you. They're trying to build their confidence to come towards you. Yeah, with the Page of Wands and the Three of Wands. That's 4 wands. That's a potential union. Or maybe that's something that's on their mind, but they're not saying anything, but they're thinking about it and they are observing you. Um, the Empress. It came out in reverse, but it kind of felt up and it's in the upright. Somebody sees you moving towards this, becoming more confident in yourself, healing yourself. I think that as you are releasing shame, this may be related to this person. Like you guys still have some kind of energetic cord or energetic tie. And mm, if this person is connected to you on a spiritual level, like you guys have an energetic cord or people call them twin flames or whatever, um, as you're releasing shame, which could be held in the pelvic floor, womb area, especially like I said, you have like some kind of encounter that could have catalyzed this within you. And you're moving with more self acceptance and releasing like shame and traumas around that. And, whatever, you're on this whole thing that we just explained. That is also related to your throat. Just even physically, anatomy wise, we've talked about this so much on this channel. The womb being related to the throat. Even if you look at it just like um physically. And so energetically they're tied. And it's like as you're releasing shame and you're moving on, you're moving forward because you're not waiting for anything. You're not trying to improve yourself to be better for somebody or for even for what you're trying to call into your life. You're just doing it. It just feels like you're moving towards this energy of just doing it. And this person, it feels like energetically they could be watching you, being inspired by you, building confidence through you and not even realizing they may, I don't know if they're conscious about it or not, but they see you as this. And yeah, it's helping them to unblock their throat. You have the moon in reverse and the fool and the 5 of wands in reverse. So it's going to be revealed that they want a new start. They want a new beginning. Queen of swords and the 10 of wands. And they know that they have to approach you, or at least they feel that they have to approach you with be very like straightforward. This is someone that you may have already dealt with. I mean, obviously they're watching you like this and they're seeing you grow, but it's like the queen and king of swords is a pair, you know? Um, Let me get one more because a word came to my mind, but the king of wands. I said limerence in my mind. Could have been related to the father wound. And you may have started to really heal this within yourself by coming to this place of acceptance and not just thinking or fantasizing or wanting to do things, but you're actually doing them, but not because you're beating yourself up either. It's like you went on this journey of like trying to fix this about yourself, trying to like fix this about, like feeling like something was wrong with you because maybe you were experiencing what you thought was limerence. But now you're just coming to a place of self acceptance, not that you may experience limerence but it's more like things are attainable for you because you accept and love yourself. So you just do them because you want to have that experience, not because you're trying to heal this first before you can attract or does that make sense? And the King of Wands came out because I was like, I've heard limerence, but I was questioning myself. And this kind of feels like the energy of this reading, like you're still working through questioning yourself sometimes, And that the numbers just keep going black and white. But King of Wands, I did see the Queen of Wands. Again, this is a match. And I would tell you that the Queen and King of Wands don't feel like limerence. They're very passionate people. They're leaders. They do things. They accept themselves. They accept themselves where they are to do the thing. They feel like they're capable. They're confident. Yeah, Two of Wands and the 10 of Wands in reverse. And it's like, it's just a decision that needs to be made. And I think that's what you're realizing is, like, it's just a decision that needs to be made when I wanna do something, when I wanna try something, when I want to whatever, it's a decision, and you start moving towards it, and so, like, I saw these cards when I was cutting the deck, the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Wands, but the Ten of Wands is now in reverse and the Two of Wands. It's like, you've become very decisive, and the energetic cord to this person, they are also becoming very decisive. But this is only happening through the catalyst of you moving on and focusing on you and not even energetically chasing this person. Energetically chasing meaning you can't convince them, you can't watch them, you don't need to be looking at their social media. I know it's hard, especially when you pick up on their energy and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Queen of Cups. Like, you're so intuitive, like, you pick up on every fucking thing, and sometimes you're like, "Am I tripping? Am I losing my mind?" This Queen of Cups is more, liable to experience limerence but maybe even confusing intuition for limerence, you know? You're learning about again, and even the thing I mentioned before, like, overthinking versus intuition, like anxiety versus intuition. And I think that you're just coming to accept like who you are, which includes like your spiritual gifts, which could be that you could telepathically communicate with someone, that you could be energetically connected to somebody, that you could maybe you're like have like really heightened um intuitive gifts, you know? And so and I'm just hearing like you're not really too much wrong, you're just early a lot of the time. And so I feel like that's the thing that you're like coming to acceptance about, you know? Yeah, 6 of Cups, like you know what you feel. Like you can feel resonance with another person for sure, you know, and maybe before they even know. This feels like it's connected to a person that people would classify as like a twin flame, you know, where when you decide to walk away, they have like their spiritual awakening. And I'm seeing 1001 and the numbers are flashing and I have 11 in the corner. It's like 10, but the O1 is like, you know, a mirrored 10. And so like something is closing out for you, something is closing out for this person. It is pushing this person to want to communicate with you. As you're coming into self acceptance and you're not waiting for anything, you're not trying to fix yourself, you're not trying to make yourself perfect for another person, you're just coming into like releasing shame. And it's something that's happening very naturally. And you're not putting too much focus on healing, 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 because that indicates or like it implies that there's something wrong with you, you know? It's like you're just yeah, you're done playing all these mental games, mental gymnastics, you know? Um, and it's really connected to a sense of rewriting, not a sense of, but like rewriting the stories that you tell yourself about self-worth. You know, feeling again safe within yourself, grounded within yourself, valuable. And yeah, I mean, I love this for you. Let me see. So swords in reverse. I say that because Spirit is just confirming that you're not tripping. Ace of Swords in reverse, King of Cups in reverse, but the High Priestess. They have not said anything. They have not told you how they really feel about you. I think that they have a hard time coming to acceptance about how they feel about you. And this could be something that's mirrored too about like, you know, you coming into self-acceptance about yourself, you know? Again, releasing shame in the womb space and all of these things. It could also release, you know, blockages within the throat and vice versa. Like you guys are mirroring each other, even though you guys may not even be near each other, but you're picking up on the vibes with the high priestess and you can tell when somebody is suppressing how they feel about you because with this Queen of Cups, and again, they keep coming out as pairs. We have the King of Swords, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups, and now the King of Cups. You can feel what they're feeling. You know what they're not saying. And so you're not tripping. Okay. 6 of Swords. and the 7 of Cups. So Spirit wants you to stop overthinking, overanalyzing this, and come to a place of acceptance about your gifts, about your ability to pick up on this energy, and to accept the truth. And it's not really something that you have to act on. It's actually like inviting you to continue on this journey. Um, and this person has free will. They don't have to do anything with this information. They're on their own journey as well. You're catalyzing each other. And the strongest catalyst is happening when you're not even trying to, you know? I feel like this person may be feeling activated as they like observe you on social media or whatever. They're still watching you. So, um, don't stop doing what you're doing. Page of Cups. You guys are very like you can send each other messages. And then the Chariot. And the Tower. Oh, I'm kind of feeling like I'm hearing like they're like, "I'm coming." Like, I'm coming, okay? Like, "I'm coming, the Emperor." That is so funny. Page of Cups, the Chariot, the Tower. It's like they're making up their mind, but they're also sending you messages of like, "I'm coming." Like, you know that, you know? And then we have the Emperor. Again, the Empress pair. So, you know, yeah, 5 of Swords, they're still, like, going back and forth within themselves a lot, but I think that this is happening for you too, and, um, it's coming to this place of acceptance where I think that this can acceptance about yourself is going to help this connection, but it's not about doing it for that connection. I feel like also, Spirit, this is a reminder to just, like, not take everything so personally. Like, don't turn everything internally on yourself because it just like throws you off balance. So they're like, when you feel this mental back and forth, or maybe you're even transmuting things on their behalf because like you're picking up on their energy, like, clear it, clear it or do whatever you feel called to do. Maybe you feel called to pray for them. Maybe you feel called to transmute it by writing it out, or, whatever. But yeah, you're not tripping. Basically, they're saying like you are picking up on this on the person's energy and they are trying to communicate with you telepathically. Um, they're processing something that could be related to a third party as well. Like, or they're processing because I saw 3 of Cups in reverse. They could be processing just kind of like heartbreak around not being connected to you anymore, like consciously, not being able to talk to you about this. Again, feeling blocked in the throat. So they're processing their emotions or trying to at least. My phone is on 7% now. I told you my phone, like, it was just dying so fast. If there's anything that this person could tell collective, um, currently, what would it be? The Magician, the alchemizing something, they're trying to create something. Queen of Cups in reverse, 3 of Wands in reverse, 6 of Wands in the challenge position, and the Death card. The Page of Wands and the Ace of Cups. And this uh they are having a hard time with processing, like connecting to their higher self, like the feminine side of them. It feels like they're having a hard time with trying to like processing the emotions. I feel like they also are being very activated when they appear on you on social media, you know? I feel like they can feel a little bit intimidated, and spirit is giving me this feeling of, like, sometimes when I do my meditations and I'm feeling off balance between, like, my inner masculine, inner feminine, I feel like this huge feeling, and then I feel like shrinking, and then I'm huge, and then I'm shrinking, and it feels like maybe this person feels, maybe even just subconsciously intimidated by what you share on social media or, like, how you present yourself or your level of confidence, and they're trying to work on that. They're trying to transform that, you know? This is a process of alchemy, but then, yeah, it's like they want to feel confident enough to offer something of value. Like they want to feel the confidence, but right now they're just kind of feeling heartbroken and they're trying temperance, they're just trying to balance shit out. They feel like they feel overwhelmed by their feelings, and they have a hard time processing that, and then 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles, they kinda almost feel like they don't have anything to give you, they don't feel they're going through their own worthiness things, you know? Um, yeah, Page of Cups and the 9 of Wands and the 2 of Cups, they just get overwhelmed by feeling feelings, and so it's like, I don't know. It's like they're stuck on the idea of you. And that's important. I just said idea for a reason. They're stuck on the idea of you, but I feel like they're not sure if it's just supposed to remain as an idea. When they have 8 of Swords in reverse, I feel like they're trying to decipher, like, if they're tripping. Like, for some reason, they're stuck on you and they feel, like, overwhelmed or, like, off balance. They don't even sometimes it's like they don't wanna acknowledge that this could be a potential connection, Um, because it overwhelms them emotionally. And so that's what they're working with right now, and so they know that they don't really have anything to give you, but they also don't wanna, like, tell the same story. They don't they It's a feeling of feeling gridlocked, with the 10 of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and maybe they are dealing with somebody that also makes them feel gridlocked, or they're processing mother wounds, that can make them feel this way. The Empress in reverse definitely related to mother wounds. Internally, that could be, like, worthiness issues, and judgment. Yes, that's what I'm saying, like, as you're releasing shame, as you're releasing judgment over your own self, like this was in the reverse, these mother wounds that he may be feeling, there is it related to him or her, that other person judging themselves so harshly that they get overwhelmed, like they don't feel like they can come forward to you, They feel like they're jumping to conclusions and their mind is trying to solve that problem with the old programming, and it's not going to work. So, they're clearly not in a place to really move things forward, and I feel like this message is really to congratulate you for moving forward and staying on your path and being focused on your self-acceptance and healing and journey, and not and starting to enjoy life again maybe. Um And as you're doing that, you may feel things emotionally that come up that may not be yours and are related to this situation because you are helping somebody else to process and grow this other person that you can consider, I don't want to put a label on it, but people classify these connections as like twin flame, Um and to keep going and doing what you're doing because you're in alignment. Okay? If you're interested in a personal reading, all you have to do is send me a quick message. Otherwise, have a beautiful, blessed day.